released, this film was going to blow box office records. It's already broken. They had to
over
find ways to do new ways to get more stuff. That's why I was able to see it a second time this Saturday with my folks.
Nice. But yeah, over 120 million in pre-sales. Also,
it's insane
for tomorrow night.
And they really didn't raise prices on the films yet. Like they've been about the same for the last year or two. But that's all I've got on my news side.
That's it.
All of that. Hey, we got a lot of pop culture to ingest here. We usually come into this going, I don't know what I'm going to talk about news, and then it's like, dude, this happened, and this happened.
I'm digging this style though. I'm digging this kind of hodgepodge. Maybe I've got a little bit to talk about, kind of lead into this other thing, and then a few other things.
Speaking of Deadpool, no, I'm just kidding. There's a new Pokemon set coming out.
Oh.
But no, I dig it too. Dungeons and Dragons. Right. Yes, do know we are going to be starting that here soon. We aren't going to be broadcasting per se.
Yeah,
but we're kind of toying the idea.
The DM hasn't decided yet. So
right.
We'll see.
She's pretty in control. I still think a plasma cannon's a good idea.
I will actually fight you.
Okay. All right, we're going to do a poll out there. Should
suit on and use fight IRL.
How sick of the goddamn plasma cannon is at this point?
Is it 100% or 200%?
200%.
Like, subscribe down below. No, I'm just kidding.
Like for a free iPhone 10? No.
I was thinking I'd give Dollar Tree packs out, but...
Yeah, we're not giving free iPhone 7. iPhone 7, that's really old, actually. Like, you can find one at the thrift store for like $2. Anyways. Hello.
So review section. We're talking about reviews.
Yeah.
And we're
doing what books did you have this week from your haul that we posted on the Everything Lives?
Don't look at
Everything Lives.
All right. So this week I had. Man, like if I actually told you the haul.
Yeah. No, the stuff that you brought home today.
But.
And read.
Next week I'm like. Alright, so this week I born and bred and read Ghostbusters, Answer the Call, which was actually released last week. I picked it up this week. That's the one based off of the
all-female
team movie that was out a couple of years ago.
Kate McKinnon, Melissa
Great
McCarthy,
movie. I don't care
Kristen
who
Wiig.
you are. Kate McKinnon. Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones.
I love her.
Yeah, both of them.
I carried it. He says that movie was great.
Yep.
Get over yourselves.
For sure. The effects on that were awesome. I love the ghosts. They look great.
I like Kate McKinnon a lot.
Yeah. She and Eddie's.
I also had Superior Spider-Man #4, which picked up last month. And then I picked up Spider-Man #5. Superior Spider-Man #5 this week.
Yep.
So I had to read both to catch up.
Yep.
Right.
Same. That was all three of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Who wrote on that? That was Christos and
Gage.
Gage, and artist was
Mike Hawthorne.
Colorist was Jordi Belair, which we have pointed out is a writer last week, but we didn't realize he was the writer and the colorist of our two comics in two different genres.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just does goods.
He is doing good.
He does. Then we also have Travis Charest. Did the coloring on that one for both. That's weird. I don't know how I'm trying to figure out my handwriting. That's the cover. Travis Charest did the cover. See, normally I go writer - name, but I put name - name.
Oh, that's good.
Name.
Travis did the Charest.
In case you didn't get it the first time. Name. Name.
And I also had, which I probably shared with Peachy here, Amazing Spider-Man #20, Reader.
Yes.
Written by Nick Spencer.
Yeah.
which we both were saying this off the mic, but on the mic, we're going to go ahead and say it on the record.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Humberto Ramos back on the artist side on that one.
Yes.
His Lizard was amazing.
Great cover by him also, yeah.
Yeah, him and Edgar Delgado did the art and the coloring inside with Eric. His name is really hard to pronounce, but it's Eric with a K. And I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I actually only go off of what Comixology pulls up for me when you can pull up comic info when you're reading it. It only gives me the artist, cover artist, and writer.
I've been looking at the pages before I put them in the thing, and I don't know why.
I did that last week, and I don't know why I didn't do it this week.
I don't know, but for the my scores, I'm gonna kind of for Amazing Spider-Man number 20. I liked it. It was a 7 out of 10. Staples on that one. Cool with what's going on with the Lizard to see him, but I was disappointed in how it ended. And I'm just kind of like, this is kind of getting boring at the point where I'm like,
that was my might be pick of the week. For a second there, I was having a hard time, but.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the series really kind of picks up a little bit more. I'm waiting for the interaction between Kraven. I was liking the interaction between Lizard and the Sun.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The Clone. Superior Spider-Man 4, I gave a 7.5 out of 10 Staples. I felt that one was a lot better than the next one, which I gave 6 out of 10 Staples. I don't care about him on a date. I don't care.
Right.
Spoilers!
Yeah, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, I gave a 6 out of 10 Staples. I was rather disappointed. I felt that they went way too much more on the comedy versus actually, kind of... I like that they did... It was healthy balance of comedy and the paranormal speak, and they just kind of get lost. My favorite character still is the Leslie Jones, Carrie Patty. She is the smartest one of them all.
Yeah, she knows the city. She's got,
common sense.
Yeah.
Which is,
She is more widely read.
Yeah, she knows all the history of the city and all the facts.
It says that in her character, her more widely read than the others, but she won't say anything about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's like... It's like she is literally Winston, because Winston in the other universes is literally getting his doctorates. He's working on his degrees and proving that he's legitimately interested in this position that he's in. He's a smart dude, and they really kind of rounded him out that they didn't really give us in the movies.
Right.
That I'm liking that, and that I like that Patty is kind of the equivalent to Ernie Hudson's character, and they're different but great.
Yeah.
I like that about it. And they kind of had all the play. Kate McKinnon's character, I forget, Coltsman. She's hilarious, but brilliantly scary. And it's just, but what's her face? Oh, I forget the main characters. The other two characters get lost in the whole randomness. And Kevin. The receptionist.
Yeah, Kevin is the receptionist.
Who constantly is an idiot and just, he serves as the Slimer for the series. But my pick of the week was actually the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Nice. Extreme Ghostbusters, 25th, they're doing 25th, 30th anniversary one-shots. 35th, 20th IDW, 35th Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different anniversary stuff going on in these, but that one, the cover for these ones, for Ghostbusters Answer the Call was Devin Grayson. Art was by S.L. Gallant. And art, or the colors by Louis Delgado.
That's
nice.
Cover. They both did the cover too, and that's the cover, which you can see Kevin in the glasses. He's an idiot, and he's constantly causing them issues. Which is I'm like,
oh, my hair.
That was loud.
Oh, that was, yeah.
For the Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters, that one's written by Jim Beard and Keith Dallas.
Both fake names.
Jim Lattier, and Delgado are the cover artists and the internal art. This one I gave an 8 out of 10 because this one is one that I didn't really pay much attention to the Extreme Ghostbusters. Here's the cover. This one didn't really spend too much time watching that series. It was an attempt to reboot the real Ghostbusters. Not the actual films franchise, which was cool, but I kind of like had failed to realize that when it came out.
Right.
Now I'm realizing, like, this is cool. The Egon's an older character. Janine's still there. All the other guys have kind of moved on from their life. There's one point, Venkman, he gets called, and he's out in the background, the painting that gets transformed in the second movie, so in the background. Kind of a loose, kind of like, it's shyly connected. Right. But they kind of, it was cool. They had a good story where they kind of had the characters grow, and which I kind of remember a lot from the series that I did see about it.
Right.
Though these stories are standalone, that they come with these Ghostbusters, they have either there's a case that pops up in front of them that they have to go and get, or they just have a problem they're solving. And this one was cool because they were actually ghostbusting. Nice. And it told the story about, like, an animal rights abuser who, and later in her life, animal rights activist later in her life was sending out bombs and killing people. And one of her bombs went off and killed her. Oh. Well, and then she happened to. It's crazy. She comes out and starts possessing animals with human spirits, giving them an opportunity to have a life again. And she was warping them, twisting them into these creatures, these chimeras, and these nasty-looking abominations and stuff like that. And at the end, the Ghostbusters, we get kind of a little interaction between the Ghostbusters, like, you never change your ear again, you don't listen type stuff. And the dude, I forget the character's name. Those are not important. They're new characters. But the character learns at the end by realizing that this chick, this spirit, is hurting the animals she once protected to hurt the people who hurt the animals, who aren't necessarily hurting the animals. And it was when one of the animals who was possessed by a human spirit went, like, I was into this until they were saying kill people. I feel bad for the polar bear I'm in, you know. Right. I didn't want this. I just wanted a chance at another life. You know, who wouldn't pass that up? So I kind of like that, and I remember that was really heartfelt. That made it kind of felt a little bit darker. The animated series, this was done by the same people who did the Men in Black series that was right after the first one, which was terrible. Super good series. Yeah. Like, oh man, like, I remember watching scenes and going, did they just show that for kid level stuff? There's some stuff that happens, and like, this show had the same kind of stuff, and that's when Real Ghostbusters kind of had the goofiness, but then they still hit you with that, like, whoa, that was a lesson, right?
Cartoons.
You know, like they tried us to learn. So this felt the same. It didn't feel lost, and I really felt it kind of held true to the Extreme Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters as a whole. Great story, great art. I recommend it.
Nice. So, that's awesome. Yeah, that sounds freaking great. I remember when that came back on, and I was kind of, I wasn't a huge fan of the Real Ghostbusters. I watched it here and there. I kind of dug that Slimer was a pal of theirs and worked with them and whatever. But when that one came back and I saw that, you know, it was kind of a reboot, but I heard that they were kind of trying to mature the characters and do a little less outlandish stuff. That kind of gave it more appeal.
Yeah, they brought a new guy. He's just the jock. They have a kid that's in a wheelchair. They brought a Hispanic individual, and then a female, kind of gothic, really into this paranormal. And they're kind of amalgamations of the old characters kind of coming together. Crazy. Which I imagine that this is going to kind of serve as kind of a basis for the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out in the next couple of years. Yeah. The Ghostbusters 3 is going to be about kids.
Next summer, I believe, to summer 2020.
Yeah, so it's coming pretty soon. But it's kids taking on the mantle and within that realm. So I'm curious to see how they do it. I really wish, and I'm going to say this again, they would continue do another movie with Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones and all them. Bring them back.
I don't see any reason why they couldn't. You know, to make a. Or maybe even a series or something, you know, something along those lines.
Give us some films. I mean, you just tone it down. You know, kind of listen to the fans, but tone it down. There was a little outlandish stuff in there, but I still enjoyed every minute of that film. Yeah. The biggest complaint was the man bashing. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fine. We've done it. There's been the other way for so long. It's